Sitting in the hospital, I think to myself as if I'm some sort of freak, an outcast, a mutant, watching as I smell the fresh cleanliness of the hospital. The clock strikes 3 after 2. I look over at my mom as she looks back at me with that striking fear in her eyes, knowing that something is wrong with me. I was at that moment that I grabbed the infectious red strands of death as they hang over my pale white forehead covered in freckles. Some say it's a disease, others a mutation, but in reality they're all the same thing. Tick by tick goes by on the big black clock as my palms get sweaty and clammy, covering my disgusting pale white palms. It's called clammy hand. It's most common with the mutants, the screw-ups, the redheads. The time finally comes as the clock reaches 2:30, as a tall white doctor in his vanishing white coat, like a god who wants to tell you something, how messed up you are. I enter the room where I met myself for the first time, face to face. It was on the day of September 19, 2005, when the doctor tells me how messed up I truly am. I realize for the first time what society meant when they say we're mutants. I walk out of that room with my mom right next to me like some sort of magnet you can't get off. We walk down that long, vast hallway with the magnet still attached, and as we step out of the door, I hear the last tick on that clock. It sounded as if we were talking to someone like a monotone history teacher in 6th grade, Mr. Frymate. I arrive at home, and all I can say to my father as he sits in his big blizzy boy chair like I'm some sort of ghost that's only recognized when my dad needs another beer from the fridge. I'm a mutant. I walk into my roommate and stare at myself in the mirror, thinking, why me? Why did I have to be the one that was so messed up? Laying in my bed, thinking through my messed up redheaded little skull covered in diseased pale slime about how I was going to die in a couple of days and how I wanted to shoot myself right here and now. I fade into my dreams as the night passes by, dreaming of nothing but death. I wake the next morning and open my big, beady, infectious eyes and see my ceiling. The nice shade of brown and other leather all I could think of was how my hair couldn't be the same color as my ceiling. I stand up and walk into the kitchen, seeing my mom making breakfast for her 12-year-old son, who's about to die in a couple of days. Me. Well, I sit, ending my humble breakfast in silence. I sit wondering how I might be the spawn of an alien sent to Earth to kill all the humans with their infectious disease. 3 days has passed since my encounter with the doctor in his white coat, which means I am supposed to die today, and with that thought in my head, I have nothing to think of but the idea of how messed up I am, how my skin burns and doesn't tan, how my skin is covered in orange splotchy freckles filled with disease, how our hair has nothing to show besides mutation and infection. As the end of the day reaches, I sit in my bed knowing I'm going to die due to some red infection, mutated disease that's overcoming my body with its contagious doings. I look over at the digital clock and see 4:59 as my big beady eyes start to blur in and out as if I were just waking up from a deep, heavy sleep. And then my eyes open for the last time, and I see my mom standing at the door with a massive smile on her face with her bright, luscious, blonde hair. Then I'm gone.